Hi, welcome to On This Day in Tudor History with me, Claire Ridgway, author of On This Day in Tudor History. Now today I'm taking you back to the reign of Queen Mary I, but I'm actually going over to the continent. For this day in Tudor history, the 7th of March 1556, was one of the days on which the Great Comet, or the Comet of Charles V, was seen and recorded by Paul Fabricius, mathematician and physician at the court of Charles V, Holy Roman Emperor. In the 1848 book on the expected return of the Great Comet of 1264 and 1556, J.R. Hind writes of how the comet is thought to have been visible in some places by the end of February, but that it was not generally observed until the middle of the first week in March. He explains that its apparent diameter was equal to half that of the moon, and that its tail, according to a contemporary observer, resembled the flame of a torch agitated by the wind. Physician, astronomer and astrologer Cornelius Gemma described the head of the comet as being as large as Jupiter, its colour resembling that of Mars, and its tail facing east. In March 1556, the comet's course was observed by Fabricius, and his observations were published in a pamphlet dated the 14th of March 1556, along with a map of the comet's course. Sadly, his pamphlet is no longer in existence, and J.R. Hind explains that all that remained of it was a small, rough chart, which was used by other authors in their works, and you can see that in the thumbnail for this video. Hind writes of how the chart shows that on the 7th it was in 5 degrees of Libra and had the same declination as Epsilon Virginis. Consequently, the north latitude would be about 17 degrees. I hope you understand that. He adds that on March the 15th, Fabricius observed the comet for the last time in about 20 degrees of Aries, with a north latitude of 72 degrees or 74 degrees. C.D. Hellman notes that another observer of the comet of 1556 was Joachim Heller, who recorded first seeing it while travelling on the 27th of February, although he didn't see its tail, and so was unsure of what he'd seen until he reached Nuremberg, when he was told that a comet with a tail had been observed there on the 3rd of March. His observations in March and April 1556 were used together with those of Fabricius in 1857 by Dutch astronomer and physicist Martin Hooke in his PhD dissertation, The Comet of the Years 1556, 1264 and 975 and its Alleged Identity, to make a new computation of the orbit of the 1556 comet, and to prove that the comets of 1264 and 1556 were not identical. At this time, comets were seen as portents of natural disasters, and theologian and historian David Gitreus recorded Emperor Charles V's reaction to this comet's appearance. The emperor said, "By this dread sign my fates do summon me." And it was in that year that he left the Low Countries, having abdicated his various offices and titles, and travelled to Spain to spend his final 2 years in a monastery. Also on this day in Tudor history, the 7th of March 1530, Pope Clement VII threatened to excommunicate King Henry VIII if he married again. And you can find out all about that in last year's video, which I'll give you a link to. Thank you for joining me. You can subscribe to this channel, and please do by clicking there. You can give me a like and leave a comment, and you can also hit the bell to be notified as these videos go live. Thank you and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.